we move on very quickly now. It's a combination of the men's and the women's here on mat 2, and this is the women's 48 kilogram. Dolgova of Russia, Kim Solny of North Korea. North Korea in blue, Russian Federation in white. Number 12 in the world is Dolgova.
Yeah, it's interesting that a lot of the North Koreans that come out, they have their own form of training. They don't travel to a lot of the training camps, and they have their own system. Every day they have about 150 judoka on the mat, women and 150 men in their own country, so they do their own training, but they come out to the events, the major events, and they're always contesting medals, and it's quite remarkable. Everybody would like to be a fly on the wall just to see exactly how it actually happens.
It's intriguing now, isn't it, to get a look at the styles, the different styles. We know, talk about mental strength is so important in this sport, and you know any athlete coming out of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has that, and I think you can almost see it. You can certainly feel it in the stadium.
Yeah, you did right about the styles as well, because the style's so important, and also left and right stance as well, very important. And you can see here that Dolgova is a left-hander, left foot predominantly forward. Doesn't mean she goes left all the time. Sometimes she'll switch it to the right, but her opponent Kim is right-handed, and so what happens is then they're looking for the sleeve, they're trying to get two hands on, and sometimes penalties are incurred, so they have to be a little bit careful that they've got to attack sometimes off one hand or sometimes from a different one.
World Championships 3 times has Kim. The last time 2015, only midfield, 9th in 2014 and in the top 5 in 2013. 25 years of age, and Dolgova just 20 years of age, so a young talent, as you can see.
Yeah, and she got the penalty there just for dropping. You've got to break balance, especially with sacrifice throws. Anything where you drop on your back, and you've got to break your opponent's balance. If you don't, then you can get a Shido penalty. As I said, 4 Shidos, and it's on Sakamaki. This is where she's got to be a little bit careful, Kim, because Dolgova, so typical of the Russians, very good with the transition into ground. And our sport, of course, is all about standing and groundwork together, and how quickly you can transition from a throwing position into groundwork.
So 5 minutes in duration for the men, 4 minutes for the women. So after some exerted effort, as we saw, all of a sudden the clock does start to come into play. The mind does different things. Here we go.
Well, especially as well, if we get into, well, the score there was a nice score from Dolgova, gets a Wazari on the board, which is almost a full point, almost finishes it, not quite the emphasis on the points of the shoulders with force to finish it, and she's following it down to ground like I said she would. So she's really well up in this match now, and it's going to take an ippon from Kim to win this.
So the point system, like many things in this sport, can look, and in fact is complex. So the Wazari is represented with 10, as you traditionally look at it, and the ippon is 100, but 10 goes to 100 just by adding 10 in one stroke.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to explain it, don't look at the 10, don't look at the 100, just look at
Easy
the one.
for you to say.
Yeah, no, just look at the ones of each one of the individual scores, otherwise it gets a little bit complicated. It gets complicated for us, and we've been doing it for a long time.
Well, what's not complicated is there's just 35 seconds remaining in this, and Kim knows that very much so. You can hear her coach, and you can hear both coaches, in fact, nearby with plenty to say, plenty of instructions, and it's time to pull out whatever you've got.
I'm laughing because, you know, the coaches are not allowed to shout while they're actually fighting. And so they're only allowed to coach or give any kind of information in the mates when the contest is broke. And they can be removed from the chair for that. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But 3 seconds left, and it looks to me as if Dolgova's done enough.
Indeed she has. The Russian Irina Dolgova moves through her opening bout at the Rio Olympic Games. 4 years of toil. It's all about the now, and of course respect is a major part of this sport, as it is with most martial arts. So before the official notification, the judogi are put back in place. There'll be a smile in a moment. Just not quite yet. Here we go. Official notification. Dolgova is through.
Yeah, like you say, so disappointing, isn't it? You know, you train all that time and come to an Olympic Games. You've got to get to quarter-final stage before you have any chance of a medal. And if you lose in the quarter-final stage, then you can come through in the repechage. There's the actual Kochigari there from Dolgova that took her opponent over. It was a foot trip that actually directed her opponent onto her back.